Don't flag anyone too with this gun. It's a little bit easier, so let's try not to.
We've all three done that now. There's no stop.
I usually never pull out, and you know that.
Don't want to hear you
Pull
chewing.
all the way out on that one.
I was trying to be business, but pulled it all the way out.
Let's hit it.
Let's hit it. With the
Everyone.
MP7. Two MP5s.
No,
two MP5s.
before we do that,
go. Okay,
welcome
sorry.
back for another edition of 1911 Syndicate being a bunch of idiots. Before we jump into this unicorn, that if you guys don't know what it is just from this, we'll get into it. But first off, we are a real estate company. How does this beautiful gun relate to that? We're still not quite sure, but it works out. We're here in Utah, Arizona, a bunch
like
of
a lot of
fucking
different places. Best thing, yeah. Go to the site.
Site, yeah, we'll have it all listed there. If we don't have someone in your area, we can get you someone. We do have a Patreon.
Yeah.
And what's the cost of those?
A lot.
Like $2,000 for the base one, or as little as $3.80, $5.56, or the coup de grace, $7.62.
For the men.
Which are also calibers if you're not tracking that. It's just not random numbers. If this is your first time with us, thanks. Hopefully you stay. You probably won't, which is also okay. And
SK.
like, subscribe, all that good stuff. This beautiful gun is brought to us by a very good friend of ours out of Midland, Texas, SK Arms. They also have a shop in Flower Mound, Texas. If you guys need anything, obviously he can get you stuff like this if you're the right person.
They're going for like $400, something like that? More or less, yeah.
I think there's a couple more zeros.
Four hundo.
Yeah.
No questions asked. Everything must go.
Yep.
Just kidding. Everything we do is legal and up to snuff. But well, let's get into it.
MP7.
The MP7, ladies and gentlemen. Another 90s classic. Designed 4.6 by 30 millimeter. Very obscure cartridge you never see because it's just this gun right here.
It's like a proprietary round, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, not even basically. I mean,
Yeah,
it is a proprietary round.
Yeah, no, there was a requirement that came out in '89.
Look at that cutie.
Hey, look at this little guy.
It's adorable. If you've ever seen like baby goats, Jason was showing us some photos of baby goats the other day, and I was like, that's the most adorable thing I've ever seen. It reminds me of that little mini chem light that we had.
Which are actually in the truck right now.
A mini chem light's the cutest thing you've ever seen, as is the 4.6 round.
Yeah, and
feet per second on these?
Feet per second on those is, depending on the ammo you get, it's give or take like 2,300 feet per second. Like those, like, I believe they go anywhere from 21 to like 31, but average is like that 23 range.
So pretty comparable to a, I mean, 5.56 is pretty close, right?
Yeah, because you'd like take a Mark 18 or something like that. You start pulling that barrel back, then yeah, you're down to like 2,300 feet per second.
Got it.
Those, so. give or take. So yeah, MP7A1 on this particular guy. So this one was made in 2003. There's a few variants past that. 3-position, select fire PDW, an actual proper PDW, because we hear that term thrown around a lot.
Yeah, sure.
So, but just designed to be as compact as possible. So, really, really cool gun. Has a really, really cool front forward grip. Yeah, as well as the retractable stock that you can rip out of the rear if you get a little too
excited
with it.
Too excited.
And then this one's even cooler because you have the B&T suppressor on it as well. It also comes with these flip-up, back-up iron sights, and then the railed sections on the top and on the sides. This side actually has the railed section removed, which I kind of like because it makes it a little more streamlined. So, you know, getting out of vehicles, close quarters work. Like you mentioned, it's really easy to flag people because it's so small and it's so light. But mags come in the 40, 30, and 20 round flavors. So
here, let me grab a
40's what you want.
Yeah,
and
it's
that mag for me.
I
got one. So there you go. Length difference, then obviously 20 rounder. You guys can use your imagination to figure that out.
Yeah, you just essentially be losing this guy if you really wanted to tuck it in there.
Yeah.
So
pretty cool. This is what all the all the cool guy pictures have. Call of Duty for me. I run this guy. So.
Yeah, and it's really for punching holes in body armor. That was the requirement.
There's a NATO thing, I think, right?
Yeah. NATO in '89 were like, look, you've got to get through. These, when they're tested, it's always against your typical level 3A soft body armor.
Yeah.
But there was a specific Kevlar requirement that they had to make it through, and really 40 rounds is where you're at because you're shooting, like you said, it's just a little baby bullet. So if you're gonna shoot somebody, you're gonna have to probably zip them up.
Yeah, and this, this is not for me, but a guy who I was introduced to through something else who's a SEAL talked about using that overseas and how it would take anywhere from like 18 to 25 rounds to put one guy down because it's so hot so fast in a CQB environment. Have you heard similar things or any experience with an MP7?
One target, one mag.
One
Jason,
target, one mag. That's exactly what he said.
Come join the conversation, please.
I don't have much to add on this one, but
no, well, you're better looking.
You're better suited than
a
me
magazine
saying,
per person.
Magazine per person. So if you're carrying a mag in the gun and maybe 3 mags on your chest rig, that's 4 dudes, right?
Right.
So because that round is so hot, so fast, it's just blowing right through them, no issues.
Exactly. Another couple quick things. The stocks on these changed a little bit. The A1 is flat. It has some inherent H&K features like your ambi mag release on each side that is very, USP, Mark 23, iconic things like that. But everything else is just, it feels very H&K all the way down to the selector.
Selector's really nice and positive.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's a really nice...
it doesn't fight you.
Good clip.
No. One thing we were talking about as soon as I was hands on this thing early... Well, okay. So one con, as I had the stock all the way in, that charging handle, which that's where your charging handle is right there. It's a little not my favorite charging handle in the world because it's just, I don't have a lot to grab. I wish this almost like a Radian Raptor is what I get. It's a PDW, but it's like I wish I had a little extra something that I could grab onto there because you have to kind of like come into your chest or whatever. But if your face is close to this, that charging handle will move a tad and give you a little love tap on that.
Papa got a little kiss.
Oh. What the hell just punched me in my face?
Charging handle.
The charging handle?
Yeah, it'll kiss you a little bit.
It fucking kissed me. Like, I might have to bump that stock out another... I mean, that, like, legit tagged me. Jesus Christ. Now I'm nervous. I don't want to keep doing that.
It'll kiss you.
Oh, God. That's like I got punched in the face. Come on, charging handle. Okay, there
Better?
we go. Yeah. I mean, it tagged me on that first round.
Yeah,
Papa got a little kiss on the lips
cheek.
there.
It's alright, it ripped out my beard hair too, so fuck that charging handle.
Yeah, but your beard sucks, so that's probably good. One thing that's, as I was, we've shot this a couple times now.
Yeah.
As we've been in Texas and different things. One thing, like, it feels like ergonomically, naturally, like perfect. Like it is a gun that when you hold it and you shoulder it, you're like, well, that's what that should feel like. And the dot just kind of magically finds your eyes. It's just, I love the ergos.
It's a cool gun. It's a cool gun.
And you can see, you know, with the EOTech, tough to tell, but the irons, I don't know if you noticed this, the irons essentially have, it's like 2 pairs of iron sights. You'll notice the rear iron sight has a little notch there.
Yeah.
That
Almost
lines
like
up at the
pistol
front.
sights.
Yeah. And then, hey, then you can actually flip up
Yeah.
for a full sight picture. I mean, that's pretty damn cool.
It's cool.
It's like irons on top of irons.
Getting HK, you know, engineering some stuff, thinking some stuff through.
It is in the list of guns that I have to admit, while it doesn't make a whole lot of logical sense, I want it so bad.
More than anything. I'd trade my wife for that gun, so.
I want that
She
gun
knows.
so bad.
She doesn't watch this either, so. Yeah.
Like, it's so cool.
And you can find ammo for it, which is weird, because no one like has access to these in the States, you know, other than a select few lucky individuals. But like, I've seen ammo for these around, and it's strange like that. You kind of wish that there were more guns made in it, or that they brought a semi-auto version over.
Are they making a civilian version?
H&K has never confirmed a civilian version, and many people have asked, which is very strange because
They should do it.
There is a semi-auto variant that is used by the British police. That is
Really?
made specifically for the British police of the MP7. So, it exists. It is out there.
I really want it.
I know.
Like,
why don't we
come
have it in
on,
America?
Guys. Make the, I mean, MP5 couldn't get it. You get the shitty ones, but then it's like SP5. It's like I've got the real thing. It's semi-auto. Like, do the whatever like SMP7 thing. Like, please God, make that. Like, I just want it because I want it. Like, it's just so cool.
Which is even better when you think of the fact that it's not practical by any means,
No!
but we totally still want it.
I want it. I mean, if you look at the targets down there, mind you, afterwards we were told the optic's not even zeroed. You can legit hold this thing down on full auto and just stitch targets. I mean, if you look at the targets, you're like, all those rounds are going in roughly a C zone. Yeah. I mean, that's a torso. I mean, it's so easy to shoot.
It's easier than it looks. Yeah. I will say that to the kids at home. If you look at it from just the front half forward, you're like, that's a goofy looking pistol to me. You know, because it's got a pistol mag release and everything like that, but you got just over 7 inches of barrel. I mean, it's incredibly controllable. It points very well, and you can just put rounds down range really quickly. Like there's not a really quick there's not a learning curve to it. Yeah. You can hand it to somebody and they can be putting rounds on target really, really fast.
I collapsed the stock and shot it like a pistol, which will show on some of the footage. I'm like, just shooting like a real soft shooting handgun, right? It's a pretty cool little gun. I mean, the biggest, coolest thing about this is just like, rarely do people get to shoot these, see them, play with them. I've been fortunate to shoot a couple of them, but dude, they're iconic, super cool guns. Not practical, but really cool, really fun.
Doesn't change the fact that I love it. Did you know, from military years and all that kind of stuff, like, I don't know, is there anything that you either heard or personal experience or stuff where it was like, you know, stuff you found interesting or anything about these?
You can't get them to stop.
Reliability factor?
They'll go thousands and thousands of rounds with no stoppages.
Okay.
And that counts.
I think I know where there might be some lab data to prove that.
Okay.
Outside of HK. I mean,
thousands
of rounds, no malfunctions.
Which is even more impressive when you think about that's a short stroke gas piston gun.
Yeah.
Like, is it really?
Yeah, it's not blowback.
Shit.
There's a piston in there, like there's a few moving parts, and it's still that reliable.
Shit.
Huh.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. The want factor is super, super high on these things.
Show them the serial number on the bottom of it. Something you rarely ever see on those guns.
Oh,
the
on the
serialized frame is on the bottom of those guys.
You're talking about this?
Yeah.
Right?
The plate. There's a plate on the bottom back half.
Well, we're not going to show a serial number.
Well, no, but
that's
yeah.
That's where the
They can't zoom in on that.
Yeah,
the
you
serial
wouldn't want
number
the
would
serial
be.
number to get stolen, but in very H&K fashion, but it's tucked all the way back. And I don't think you ever see it in photos.
So my understanding of this thing is that essentially, in whatever it was, like late 80s or something, we're still like Soviet era, and the word on the street was that NATO found out the Soviets were all going to be getting issued body armor. Therefore, MP5s, now we've got a problem because it's not going to be punching through that, which is the NATO request that came out, which ultimately that same request produced MP7 and the P90.
Oh,
They came
okay.
out of the same. They came out of the same request.
Okay.
And the whole thing was designed for basically PDW super tiny gun that can punch through body armor. Yeah.
Cool.
Out of that comes MP7, and then like I think it was like a super long fielding process, so it, you know.
Well, just like look at. I mean, just the lines on it, right? Like the curve in the mag, the vertical grip, like all of it. I mean, they're just cool, aesthetically looking guns, right?
No doubt.
Gosh,
No doubt.
I dig it. Anything else to add?
Nothing from me. I mean, it's one of those that, you know, sometimes sometimes you love a woman where you're like, I shouldn't. Like, you're mean to me and you don't bring any value to my life, but it's like, I love her and I tolerate her shit and her flaws, and it's like, that's kind of my relationship with this, where I'm like, it doesn't make sense. I don't need it in my life, but like, I want it.
I do need it.
I want it, you know, and that's kind of, I have this unhealthy relationship with it.
I don't know. They're pretty awesome.
This is what we talk
Well
about on the
put.
channel.
Well
this is what we talk about, you know, hooker with a heart of gold kind of thing.
I don't
yeah,
know, they're cool.
That's all I got. Anything else?
Anything else?
You know, it's just a shade under 4.5 pound unicorn, and if you ever get the opportunity to shoot one, just enjoy it, because it's really easy to just hold on and never move and be like, wow, that was 40 rounds over with. Play around with it a little bit. I think I poked Chris a little bit. It was like, hey, do some target acquisition, you know, move around a little bit,
Some like ready up
explore the
drills.
studio space, if
Yeah.
you will, and it's just a cool gun.
They are. One thing I want to add to, if this is your first time coming to us, Jason from Skeleton Key Tactical, his background a little bit. He does training now, but was in the Army for a number of years at a unit out of Fort Bragg. And he does training now. Check his schedule, get on his website, check the calendar. Phenomenal instruction. Just, you know, we didn't preface that when you walked in. Just want to let people know
Thank
where
you.
you're from.
You're just
Appreciate
a guy. You're just a guy.
Just some
that
dude
rolls
that's
in.
out here.
Guy in no tactical gear and standing here trying not to look stupid.
Eddie Bauer, baby.
Eddie Bauer.
The most tactical and least tactical looking.
Yep.
That's it.
All right, everyone.
Thanks, kids.
See you soon.